I don't want to say anything that's like gonna be considered as being a bad influence, but at the same time, it's your life and I'm not here to tell you how to live it. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Farah. So as you can tell, today's going to be a pretty laid back video. We're going to just get chatting about some particular topics that you guys have sent to me on Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, by the way, you definitely should, because by following me on Instagram, you basically get to choose what videos I put up. I ask you guys all the time your ideas and thoughts on things I should be posting over on this channel. And I really value your input, so if you want to kind of take control, I guess, of what I post on this channel, then definitely go and follow me on Instagram and get involved in my polls and my stories where I ask you guys questions on things that I should be talking about. And that then brings me on to this video today, because this video is going to be like a Desi girl chat type video. I did ask you guys on Instagram what topics you'd like to hear me talk about, because I know a lot of you come from like an Asian Indian background, and like myself, I know the struggles of being an Asian girl, and just in general, I just thought it'd be a nice thing to talk about because there are not many people like me on YouTube, I feel. At least I haven't come across them. So I thought it'd be nice for you guys and for myself to just have a little chat together about some things, and you guys have sent me those things. So I'm just gonna get straight into I don't know, I'm just gonna check what you guys actually asked me. I got quite a few responses, so thank you everyone who sent me something to talk about. I will be keeping everyone anonymous as always. I've just realised that there is a lot of kind of questions and stuff in here, so this might be a part 1 part 2 type video. Let me know if you want to see that. I'll try and get to as many as I can in one video, but I'm already rambling too much, so let's just get straight into it. Right, so the first thing, the first kind of question I guess I got was, a Muslim in a relationship with a non-Muslim, can you kiss like a peck or a kiss on the cheeks? Okay. I don't know why I'm laughing. First, I'm just gonna break this down a little bit. A Muslim in a relationship with a non-Muslim. I guess that's the context I'm being given here. This girl is asking, like, can she kiss this guy, I guess? Personally, I think whether they're Muslim or not, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know how old you are, and I don't know what stage in your life you are at, but I'm assuming that you're quite young, and therefore that's why you're asking me, because I don't know, you've not discussed this with anyone, you've not had experience of this before. So I would say, like, I don't particularly think the issue is whether they're Muslim or not. I think if you're young, I think the fact that you are the Muslim, I think that means you shouldn't really be doing that. I mean, whether it's a peck, kiss on the cheeks, I just wouldn't go there, you know? Like, it's hard to say because I really don't have much background on, like, is this someone that you're with? Is this someone that you've just met and you like? Like, I don't know what the scenario is, but I'm just going to assume off the bat that you, oh wait, in a relationship. Okay, I missed that part. You're in a relationship with a non-Muslim. See, that's a tricky one because I'm just going to go by the book and say that in our religion you're not supposed to do things like that. You're not, like, before marriage, things like kissing and all that, like, you're just not allowed and it shouldn't be done. So for that reason I would just say, like, no. But I think you're asking this because you know it's not right, and you're asking because you kind of want someone to maybe tell you it's fine when you know it's not. So yeah, I'd go with no. Don't be doing that. Okay, so the next one is, oh, we've got a list of things here. We've got career, technology, light politics, I love that, world affairs, basically intellectual topics, not typical. I don't know what typical topics are. I don't know if I started with a typical topic, let me know. Career, I will touch on career quite a bit because I think that's really important, especially in Asian culture. Especially these days, is something that really interests me, personally, because I feel like I'm running two careers at the same time in a way. One that I really want to do and I'm really passionate about, which is like growing my YouTube. And then one that I definitely enjoy and I like the people I work with, and it's my full-time job and it's what's paying the bills right now, so I'm very grateful for it. But at the same time, it's definitely not the type of job that you would like spend your whole life. I don't know how to explain it. It's just not the type of job that you would have the goal, like the dream of doing it since you were young. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really want to talk too much about like what I do specifically in my day-to-day life, or like the actual job role that I have, because I just want to keep that separate from what I'm doing on YouTube. I don't want to mix the two together too much at this stage, and I probably won't in the future either, to be honest. But in terms of career, I think that's a really important topic for kind of girls my age and within my culture, just because we are always, I guess a lot of girls feel the pressure, and not just girls but men as well, feel the pressure to go for these academic and like really intellectual jobs like doctors, lawyers, surgeons, just these like really high paying but like really intellectual, like jobs that you need to study years for, jobs that you have to really go to university for. And these days I feel like there are so many more opportunities and so many more things you can do. And although like I'm not discrediting those jobs for a second, I definitely studied law at uni. I was like on my way to becoming a lawyer before I changed my mind, and I definitely value those roles, and they're very respectable positions to be in, and definitely don't discredit them in any way. All I'm saying is that they are very traditional, and times have moved on, and it's not the be all and end all. You can make just as much money doing so many other different things that are actually fun to do. And you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into those roles anymore just to get where you need to go, if I'm making any sense. So what I'm basically trying to say is those jobs pay well. I don't know what's wrong with me. Those jobs pay really well, and the reason that our parents and people in our culture in general, like the older generation I guess, want to like shove us in those jobs so hard, is because they know they are jobs for life. They know you have security in those jobs. They know that they pay really well, so you'll be good to go for the rest of your life as long as you stay in that profession and you just progress, because you earn so much money, and then from that you get to build things and build your own empire and have a family where you're stable financially, doing well. And that's all our parents want for us, right? They want us to be doing well, and they want us to be stable and like I guess just doing well for ourselves in life. And I feel like their idea is that those jobs correlate to that and only that. And as time has gone on and technology has developed, I don't think they've caught on to the fact that there are so many other things that you can do now to get the same wealth. You can get the same wealth, you can get the same security by like starting your own business, doing things like YouTube, where people like grow so much that they bring out their own products and their own makeup lines and clothing lines, and they make an empire out of this. And they make far more money than you would ever make in a 9 to 5 job where you're working as just in an office or things like that. So there's definitely more potential out there than there ever was before, because they didn't really have the internet, and I think they don't understand it because they never had it. And I think it worries them when they see things like this, because they don't understand it, and they don't see how it could possibly provide longevity compared to a career where you're literally going to the office 9 to 5, you know what your job role is, you know what you're doing every day, you come home, you come away from the job, you get paid monthly, and it's secure to them. And I feel like parents don't do it just because, well, don't get me wrong, there are some people in the world, very sad, but they put their kids in, or like they push their kids into these positions because they want to look good and they want to be able to say, my daughter is a lawyer, my son's a doctor, blah, blah, blah. 9 times out of 10, your parents are doing it because they just want you to be secure in life, and they want you to reach your full potential, and they want you to have the best in life, and their only way of that they think that the only way you can do that is by getting these like really high paid and like really sought after jobs, which makes sense in a lot of people's eyes, and it makes sense in my eyes too, and that's kind of why I went down that route as well. But I think at the same time we just have to remember that careers like evolve, and I think it's an important topic in our culture, because as women, I feel like there are a lot of backwards people out there still that don't even think that women should have an education. They don't think women should work. They think that women should stay at home and do the housewifey role, which is annoying. And I think that is quite ingrained in our culture. But I think we're doing a good job of breaking away from that. I know so many Asian women that work full time, probably work more than their husbands do, and it's kind of, we're growing out of that culture quite quickly, and we can't really stay in that culture because of the way society is. And I just think if you're the type of person who maybe wants to start a career in something like non-conventional, and something that doesn't involve going to uni for like 7 years or training and all the secure type jobs that your parents have their vision of you doing, just because they know that you'll be safe and financially stable and things with those jobs, but you have something in mind, either you want to create something of your own, then I mean, talk to them about it, explain to them what your vision is, explain to them what you're planning to do. What I would always say though is common sense says that you need to be stable within yourself to be able to run something on your own, and also you need to have all the knowledge that you can possibly gain before you jump into something on your own. So I would always say, make sure you have a backup, like make sure you have that 9 to 5 job, make sure it doesn't matter what it's in, but make sure you have something that is bringing you money in every month before you jump onto something that you want to do independently. And obviously things like that take time and they take a lot of your energy and effort, but you need to have something to fall back on, because you don't know what could happen. And I'm not trying to be like negative Nancy over here and saying that, oh, like 9 times out of 10 startups fail or things like that. I'm just saying that you really need to be careful, because you can't allow yourself to just launch into something, like even though you're going at it with like full intention to succeed and you're going to try really hard, you always have to have that backup to fall on, just because you don't know what could happen, and you just need to take care of yourself and just be aware that you can put your all into something, but it might not always work out. So you always really need to think about, what do I have if this doesn't go to plan? What do I have if I change my mind? What if I don't really like it? What if I find it too hard? What if I'm not really as into it as I thought I would be? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I just rambled on to something that you weren't even asking me just then. But in a nutshell, careers in the Asian world are a very like hot topic, I feel, and especially with YouTube and things like this, I feel it's really interesting to talk about, and I feel like it's a really good topic to bring up a lot of the time, because I just feel like it's important for people to become more open-minded in our community and smell the roses. Like, the world is moving on, things are changing, and you can't always be stuck in your own rut and want to do things how they were done like 400 years ago, because it's not the life we're living anymore. Things have advanced, and because of that, careers are changing too, and it's okay for your son or your daughter or anyone that you know to have an unconventional career, because if they're doing well out of it, then why not? Like, people just need to become more accepting of things that they don't understand, I feel, and I feel like that's a big barrier in our community. People don't understand things, so then they judge them really quickly, and then they don't take the time to really understand it before judging, and then it just becomes this whole mess where people just start becoming bitter towards each other, and families kind of clash over things like this, because careers, at the end of the day, that's pretty much your whole life. Like, that's what mainly life revolves around, just because to survive you need a career, you need financial stability in order to do anything that you want to do, and that's just the hard true fact of it. So yeah, it's a really important topic, and I definitely think more people should talk about it, because I guess a lot of people have different views on the situation, and I feel like if we encourage more open conversation about what it means to have a good career and what it means to be successful as an Asian, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a lawyer or a doctor anymore. Like, you can be successful in so many different ways and so many different industries, and yeah, that's my take on that topic in 100,000 minutes. Okay, so the next one I've got is the double standards regarding men and women. Oh my god, you guys, this topic, I could literally make a whole video on this because this grates me on the daily. I don't even know where to start. This is such a broad, like, massive topic, and I feel like the double standards exist in every single aspect of life itself. Having said that, I feel like as a community we are getting a lot better, and you know what I love so much is I love seeing people on the internet, like social media influencers that are Asian, such as Shake Beauty, Omar Chowdhury, and they like give snippets of their life. Obviously they don't like upload everything that they do in their day-to-day lives, but they give snippets of like how they are as a couple in real life and how they kind of run their household. And many times they've explained that, like, Omar loves cooking. He loves cooking, and Shaz doesn't like it so much. And there are a lot of couples like that that I follow online and that are within our community. And I feel like it's so nice to see that, because it just makes people more aware of the fact that it's okay for men to do cooking. It's as simple as that. Like, it's okay for women to not like cooking. It's okay for men to help out with the house chores. It's okay for men to help out with the children. Like, all these things that we kind of, all these stereotypes and things that have been brought about and ways that we've been told we should be, people aren't living like that, and it's not real life. Like, it's not possible and anymore, and it's just not desirable either. Like, a lot of women don't want to be sat at home. A lot of women don't like cooking, don't particularly want to do the cleaning. I mean, there are things that you have to do if you own your own house, and there are things that you have to do if you want to live a clean and healthy lifestyle. But what I'm trying to say is, there are so many like standards set for men and women, and they're the kind of like rule book of like Asians, I guess, and just this whole culture that we have going on of like, men do this, women do that, men do this, women do that, men don't do this, women don't do that. And it's like, well, actually, if you look into the daily lives of just people living in general, this book is irrelevant. Nobody actually lives by that, and there's so many people assume that other people are living by this book and they're not. And you have to kind of, it just takes you to like see these people and hear them speak and talk about their life to realise, actually, you can live how you damn want to, and men and women can do whatever role, and it doesn't really matter. It just matters what, like, if it works for you, then it works for you. And I think that's really important for people to understand. And the double standards, I think, come in where people, or like, I feel like it's more men in general on the internet. Maybe I'm just generalising here, but I just feel like there's a lot of men that feel like things should be a certain way, and they put all this pressure on women. And there's a lot of men on YouTube actually, and these holier than thou men that think they can just like comment on women's behaviours and what they're doing and all this stuff, and then they don't even look at like what they're doing themselves, and like the fact that they're judging other people is wrong, and the fact that they're nitpicking and commenting on what other people are doing in their lives and things like that, that's not right either. So why do you feel so obliged to tell other people what to do, and like what they're doing is wrong? It's just, oh, it's really frustrating. And I really dislike people who kind of go about life thinking that they were born to tell people how they should live their lives and teach these teachings, which is just rubbish. Like, just let people do what they will with their life. Like, it's up to them, and you were not born to become like this, I don't know, preacher that has to tell people like what they're doing is right or wrong. Like, it's just none of your business. And I see that a lot, and I see that from men a lot, and it's frustrating. And I don't understand where they think they got all this power from. It doesn't make any sense. But it's not as it says in the books, and it's not as it says that how women's and men's roles should be and what we should be doing, because there's no such thing as what you should do other than like, you should not kill, you should not hurt others, you should not, like, those kinds of things. Yeah, don't do them. But other than that, do what the hell you want. Like, I just don't understand people's perception of like, oh, you are a bad person if you talk about certain things, or you, I don't know. It's just this whole weird thing about what men and women should and shouldn't do, and it's really frustrating. But as I said, I could do a whole video on that, and I really don't want to ramble on too much because I want to just get through as many of these as possible without making this a massive video. It might just be a massive video, and I might just scrap the part 1, part 2 thing and just do this all in one. I don't know, what do you guys think? Also, I'm wearing a t-shirt under this and it keeps popping out, I'm sorry. What else do we have here? We have, someone just put relationships, and I kind of did question on my story. I was like, what exactly about relationships? Like, what do you want me to discuss in terms of relationships? I kind of ended up getting a bit of a dilemma type situation in my DMs. So this is the dilemma that I got sent. I'm going through such a difficult phase at the moment. I have to let go of my relationship because I know my family will never approve, and it's complicated for me too with studies. And I just have a feeling it won't work out. It's making me so upset, and I just have no one that I can talk about. And I have no one that I can just talk to about it. This actually breaks my heart, like, hearing that. I don't think we realise, but a lot, in this day and age, I feel like a lot of girls go through this issue. It's not uncommon at all. So to the girl that sent me this, if you're watching this video, I'm really sorry that you're going through this, because I could just imagine it's horrible. It's horrible being torn between like what you want to do and what your family want for you, and what they think is best and what you think they will approve or not approve of. It's just a horrible situation to be in, and I get that. And it's such a hard thing because you can never really know until you're in it. I don't know the ins and outs of your situation. I don't know if your family know that you're with someone, or if you're just cutting it off completely before they even find out. What I would say is that depending on how long you've been with this person, I don't know, depending on how serious you are, can you see that yourself marrying them? Like, how long before you think you would get married? Could you imagine yourself introducing them to your family? Can you imagine their reaction? Do you think they would like get on with this person? Do you like, these are all the questions that you need to ask yourself in order to determine whether it's worth kind of risking it for them, whether it's worth sticking it out until you can finally tell them. Seeing as you're in the relationship already, you obviously like this person, you obviously see a future with them, I'm guessing. So my thoughts are, like, you kind of need to just question yourself in all these areas to kind of really understand if they're really the person for you, if they're really the person that you want to be with for the rest of your life. Because honestly, you guys, like, I could talk for days about this whole culture about relationships in our culture in general, and our attitude towards relationships and working towards marriage and things like that, because I don't get how you can it's a really difficult topic, I'm just gonna say that. But sticking to this scenario and helping this poor girl out, she says that she has to let go because her family will never approve. So my question is, why do you think they wouldn't approve? Is he of a different background, religion? Is he a bad boy? Is he not a good influence on you? Like, what are the reasons that you think they won't approve? Because a lot of the time you kind of panic and feel like, oh, we're doing a bad thing, or oh, we think our parents will think this of us, when actually they might be more accepting than you think. So it may be worth just taking a step back and kind of realising, first of all, what do you want? Do you want to be with this person for the rest of your life? Can you imagine being with them? And can you imagine being around your family and treating your family well and being respectful and all these things? Like, these are really important qualities. You've got to really take heed and pay attention to these things, because it's so important. When you come to introducing someone to your family, you know, you want to make sure that they are the best person for you and your family will agree with that. So if he doesn't tick any of those boxes, then honey, he's not for you, and it's probably a good thing that you've realised that you need to let them go. And even though it'll be hard, I think it'll be so much better for you in the long run, and it'll just save you a lot more pain in the long run as well, even though I'm sure it's really hard in this moment in time. And also with the point you made about it's complicated with studies, I 100% get that. Being an Asian girl and going to uni and having a family that really want you to go to uni and excel and be the best academically, that means so much then, because there are so many girls out in the world within our culture that don't get that opportunity, and they don't get the privilege of having an education and having these career prospects that we are given. So it's not taken lightly, and it is a huge like importance and something that you really just need to focus on if you have the opportunity to do it. So if you are at university, you are studying, then honestly keep that above all. Like, for that moment in time, like, university doesn't last forever. You are not going to be there for the rest of your life. It's a max 3-4 year job, and then you're done, and then you're stuck with that grade or you're stuck with that degree. Whatever you decide to do, it's done. You move on with your life. But the degree that you get and the experiences that you get from uni and the skills that you learn means so much, and just grow you as a person so much later on, that you really need to like grab it with both hands and just make sure you take every opportunity to just enjoy that experience and make the most of it, because a lot of people don't get that opportunity. So if you're saying that it's complicated because of your studies, maybe it's distracting you, maybe I don't know why it would be complicated with that, other than thinking about distractions. Maybe you've got exams and things and you can't really put much time into a relationship because of that. I agree with you, and I think you're doing the right thing, because I just think like relationships come and go, boys come and go, but your degree, your kind of self-development and this in life in general just takes a lot of work, and I think it's really important for young girls to focus on that if they get the opportunity to do that. And then having a feeling it won't work out. This is hard because I feel like in any relationship you're going to have doubts, you're going to have points where you're like, I don't know, you just made me over worry about things, over stress, overthink it. Like, we're girls, we do things like that. But I just would again question yourself, why are you feeling like that? Is that because they're generally not right for you? You don't see it in the long term. The thing is, I don't agree with the dating culture of like just going out on a million dates, and as like this whole like tally thing that people have going on these days. I really don't agree with it, and it really is a bugbear of mine. It doesn't make sense, and I just feel like, what's the point? But at the same time, if you meet someone that you genuinely really like and you really see a future with them, I don't feel like you should sacrifice that. But at the same time, I feel like you really need to think hard about if they're really right for you, if you think that you see like a long future with them, and if you don't, then cut it off. Like, forget it. Like, just move on, because if you genuinely don't think it is going to work out, I really don't see the point. I don't understand when people just, it's for fun, or it's just for this like season, like a seasonal boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Like, I don't, in my head that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it works for some people, but if you're asking for my advice, I would say if you don't see yourself marrying them, having children with them, doing all these massive life events with this person, then forget about it. Like, if you don't see that in your mind, there is someone out there that you'll meet and they'll be just fine with you. So, and you know when you know. Is that, you, like, you will know. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but when you meet them, you will know they're the right person. So if you don't feel that in your heart, then they are not the right person for you, and you need to move on and let them go and let yourself find the right person. Because if you hold on to this person that you know isn't quite right, they're not going to gel with your family, they're not like really right for you, and you feel like you should let them go, then your gut is telling you what you need to do. You need to listen to it, and everything will be fine, I promise you. I know it's easier said than done, and I know these things are such tricky situations when you're like constantly battling with like the guilt and like wanting to do best by your parents, but then also like you have your own life, and you want to do what you want to do, and you're kind of ruled by your emotions at the same time in that sense. But all in all, you just really need to put yourself first sometimes and realize, is this person right for me? Do I feel right? Do I feel good? Do I feel like it's something serious, it's something genuine, and something that I can't let go of? If you have all those feelings, then, you know, go and sit with your parents and talk to them about it, and just be open and honest, because if you feel like that, then they will come around and understand those feelings. And I just believe that everything happens for a reason. If you feel like you're being put in a position where you have to let them go, then you probably need to, if that makes sense. That is probably the right thing to do, and most likely is, because you wouldn't be feeling like that otherwise. At the same time though, you're always going to come across like struggles and difficulties when you're kind of in this area, in this little pool of, you know, when you're dabbling in that pool, you're going to come across difficulties. So you just need to be careful and just watch your own back, really. And oh, I really hope everything works out for the best, because I really feel for you, I really do. And it's a horrible position to be in, and I hope everything works out, and I'm sure it will. And you just need to be strong, and you need to be a really strong-minded, independent thinking girl. Know what's right for you, know what's best for you. You know your parents want the best for you, so they're not going to take any rubbish, and you know that, and that's why you're worried. So yeah, just do what you think is best, and that's always the best way to go ahead. Like, just really channel into your thoughts, and really just, people don't really think in this day and age. They kind of just react out of emotion and let that rule them, but you honestly have to like bring it back in and put your brain into gear. You really have to think logically as you can about things like this, and kind of bring it all back to earth. Put your brain in gear, because you honestly need your brain in these situations, and you just need to really think about honestly the pros and cons, you know, of doing what you're doing, and being in the position that you are in, and the decision that you're going to make. You need to think about the pros and cons of that and weigh them up, and only you can really decide whether the cons are bad enough or whether the pros are good enough. Do you know what I mean? So I wish you the best of luck. I hope it goes well with whatever you decide to do, and it's really sad that you feel like you have no one to talk to about this, but can I just say, a lot of us girls are alone in this, because it's such an awkward topic. Like, it's just not spoken enough about, and even I feel awkward speaking about it, because I come from quite a conservative family where we can't really expressly talk about these things, and it is quite difficult. Like, it's just a difficult topic in general, and I don't fully feel comfortable in myself giving advice on it, just because I don't know what the hell to do. Like, I don't know what the best thing to do would be, but all I can say is trust your gut. Know that you feel comfortable, whatever decision you make, you in your heart of hearts feel comfortable with that decision, and listen to your parents. Honestly, listen to them. I know that's the last thing you want to hear, but if you like introduce him to them, or if you talk to them about him, or if they meet him and they get a bad vibe, or they think he's not right for you, take that on board. I'm not saying just like, you know, live your life by others ruling it, or like don't think for yourself, or don't make your own decisions, but like just take that on board and really think about it, because a partner is for life. It's not really a decision to take lightly. So, and getting in relationships and stuff is so messy. It's a really messy thing to do, and I just don't think you should do it when you're young at all. I just think if someone's right for you and you meet them late on, maybe just like wait it out, and like if they're really right for you, then they'll still be there when you're in your 20s waiting to get married. Like, you can still be friends with them and stuff, but it's not really something you need to rush. But then it's down to how you feel, and it's down to the moment, and it's down to you as a person. You know how much you can get away with, you know how much that you feel comfortable doing, and you should just stick with your gut, but also use your brain. Please use your brain. And yeah, I hope that was helpful. I don't know if I helped at all really, but I just know a lot of us girls go through some ish that doesn't get spoken about enough, and I want to kind of bring that onto my channel a little bit just so you girls don't feel alone, because you're not alone. And just this message alone just tells me that it really opened my eyes, because I was like, oh wow, I didn't realise like other girls, like girls just have these issues in general, because I don't really hear about it. So yeah, is that all I want? I think that's the last thing I'm going to kind of bring up in this video, because I feel like I've rambled for a hell of a long time. My battery is dying, so I think that's a good place to end. I don't know if I did any, like I helped you guys in any way in this video. I hope I didn't ramble too much. This is kind of my first girl chat type of video, and I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting a few things off my chest, and also chatting to you guys about issues that we're facing, because we're in this together, you guys. Like honestly, there are so many struggles that we like, and barriers that we face day in, day out, and I just think I want to make this space of mine, as in my YouTube space, somewhere that we can talk about and share about our experiences and really like be on the same page about these things, because we need each other to get like progress and get through this, and we need to kind of empower each other and be on each other's sides. So yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, if you want more videos like this, I guess give it a thumbs up, comment below if you have any dilemmas that you would like me to kind of talk through, you want to discuss together. Comment below if you have any advice for this girl that I just like read her dilemma out to you. If you have any advice for her, please like comment it below. Let's just bring a lot of love in this area and support for like each other, because I think that's so important, and we just don't have enough of that. I feel we don't talk enough about certain things that we're all struggling with a lot really. And in addition to that, if you have anything that you're struggling with or you want me to talk about or bring up in a video and you want us to have an open discussion about, DM me on Instagram. I'll always keep you anonymous. Nobody will ever know your secrets. So, except for me, of course, but I'm not here to judge. We all have things we're battling with. So, yeah, if there's anything that you need to get off your chest, bring it to my DMs and I will see what I can do. Other than that, guys, I'm going to log off now. Let's sign out, because my laptop's about to sleep and that means my camera will die. So, I love you lots, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.